Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and this is the continuation series of IPL auction reviews. And today we're going to do four teams in this video, which is KKR, Punjab, SRH, and Delhi Capitals. And without further ado, I would like to introduce my guest. Again, the same panel who was there in the last video. They're here, Manav, Ajit, and Pranav are there. So welcome, guys. And without further ado, we'll go into the new with the first team, which is the defending champions, and the champions who made a lot of noise by making the signing, which I feel would have shocked a lot of people. Venkatesh Iyer, who's been bought for 23 point couple of crores, and in that squad, looking at that squad, no, they let go of a lot of couple of the key players also, which is obviously Mitchell Stark, Phil Salt, Shreyas Iyer, and they bought in a couple of players also. If you look at this squad, I would like to ask each one of you their opinions of the impression of this squad. I'd like to start with Manavs. What is your impression of this squad?
I think it's a good team they have actually because you'll see wicket keepers it's covered. They have good batters also and all-rounders. Also they are good and spin department is a little weak for them and good amount of fast bowlers also there. So it's a good team I would say.
Okay, Ajit.
I mean, first of all, to start off with, I think major miss, I would say, it's something missing though from just looking at the squad, and the biggest thing that they're missing is obviously the captain. Shreyas Iyer going to Punjab was the biggest miss I would say, because people can say that what was the big reason that KKR have won the title is probably Sunil Narayan and Phil Salt basically having like 50% or 60% of the responsibility of them winning the title, because they were the opening combination that we didn't expect that they would be, but they've delivered it, and that probably was one of the biggest reasons. And of course, you have again Sunil Narayan, not just with the bat but also with the ball, with the spin, and also you have Varun Chakravarti, who has done exceptionally well. But people need to realize that how important of a role that Shreyas Iyer has played as a captain. Yes, they had a good management staff. You have Chandrakant Pandit as your head coach, and you had Gautam Gambhir as your mentor. So that was pretty much in terms of that leadership group and whatever it is. Yes, you probably the first few names that come to mind are one of them is Gambhir, but Shreyas Iyer also as a captain has done very well. Is very smart as a captain, very highly. I don't know why he's won an IPL title, and it's very rare though, because you have like what, 8 or 9 captains winning IPL titles, because you have like 17 years of IPL, and you have Rohit Sharma and MS Dhoni winning 10 of them. So only the rest of them is like very slim pickings, I would say. And Shreyas Iyer has entered into that elite list. So, and yeah, I thought KKR letting go of Shreyas Iyer was a big miss. But looking at the squad on paper, yes, it looks good. When you have Rinku Singh being retained for pretty good amount of money, I thought he deserved it, and he's someone right now in the current form that he is in T20 internationals. He's probably one of the best middle order batters and finishers in the world. You can say that, not just for India but pretty much in the whole world of T20 cricket. Obviously, they've got Angrish Raghuvanshi back. Manish Pandey once again coming back to KKR. His experience can come into play. Not sure whether he will be in the playing 12, whether he'll be an impact sub or whether he'll be in the original playing 11, but you never know. But his experience will come in handy, considering that he's won an IPL title by performing that absolutely match winning knock in 2014 against Punjab. And of course, they've bought Rahane as well. Like Rahane, it's been like rumors circulating around here and there that it's either Venkatesh Iyer, of course, the 23 crores of that purchase of Venkatesh Iyer.
Who's your
Venkatesh Iyer
preferred
was a
choice?
shocker.
Who's your preferred choice as a captain?
If I want someone who's a proven leader and who's done well before in any format, international cricket or state, I would go Ajinkya Rahane as my preferred captain. That is, I my preference. But obviously, when the team has invested so much amount of money to get Venkatesh Iyer into the team, I think when you look at it, the way they've operated in the auction, I think Venkatesh Iyer should be the captain. But if you ask me about my preference of a captain, I would still go with Rahane, because he's,
Hmm.
I mean, well, he's basically won a border Gavaskar trophy for India when Kohli, took his hiatus immediately after the first Test match. He has also won a Ranji Trophy. He's pretty much won a lot of games for Mumbai state team and all that. So he's a very good captain. So I would prefer Rahane to be my captain, but again, we never know. maybe they're going to go with Venkatesh Iyer. Obviously, they've retained, like I said, Sunil Narayan and Andre Russell. It was not a surprise at all. Ramandeep Singh also being retained. I think they've used RTM for Ramandeep Singh, another
No, no,
rising,
no.
another rising star.
They retained
Yeah,
him.
yeah, they've retained him. Sorry, but like I said, another rising star for India as well. Another solid all rounder as well. They got Moin Ali, which is pretty interesting. I mean, Manas said that the spin department is kind of weak, but their spin department is still one of the strongest. When you have Sunil Narayan and Varun Chakravarti already, you know that they're going to choke. They're going to choke a lot of runs in both ends. You can have a double spin attack in both ends, and they're going to just let go through that spin choke again pretty much anywhere. That's the reason why they were successful last season. I mean, this past season, sorry. Harshit Rana being retained for 4 crores. We all know exactly like that whole escapade, if I would say, the way. I mean, I think most of you would know what I'm referring to. Being retained for 4 crores and the
Not
the
making the
kind of
book.
things that they were doing. Yeah, exactly. Vaibhav Aurora being bought for a good amount of money, good price. I thought Vaibhav Aurora being brought back was a good selection for KK. Andrik Nokia, I wouldn't be someone who would prefer Andrik Nokia if the Eden Gardens pitch is a bit, it's flat and the ground is very small. So yeah, with the pace he generates and all you needed to do is just put bat on ball and it's going to travel far. So I don't know, but we'll see though. He's in a different team, different team management. So maybe he might have a revival. You never know. Spencer Johnson, decent bowler, even though he hasn't done any something impactful for Gujarat, but he's fine. And Umran Malik, with the promise that he had in SRH, and although his career had fallen off a little bit, but I mean, he's now got to KKR. But it's a good squad overall on paper, but I don't know. They're missing Phil Salt and Shreyas Iyer, so and Mitchell Stark as well. Let's not forget. So I don't know whether I don't know how much of a chance they have to get to the playoffs and all that. But again, it
I
will be
think
interesting to
I
see
think
because on paper we can discuss the team how much ever we want for a long period of time. But it's only when they play. Even this past season, on paper, the team did not look. I mean, on paper, I'm saying like before the whole season started, it did not look that promising. With the way they played and they proved everyone wrong and they just won the title. So let's see how it goes.
I
I
think
think
Phil Salt replacement is Quentin Peacock. I think he's going to be that player who can do that impact. And plus Quentin Peacock is proven he's also won IPL, so he can do
yeah,
that job.
yeah. I would say that the Indian core of this team is excellent. I think it's as good as you can get in an IPL team where you all know that 7 Indians or 8 Indians are the key recipe for success, and that they somehow they've retained some of the Indian cores and if you look as far as the leadership is concerned, obviously Ajit has mentioned his preference and but as you said, there's still more options other in leadership. If I'm being honest, you got Moin Ali as an option. You got Sunil Narayan, who was an option, who was lead in there. I think in that MLC's CPL was Pollard. I think MLC's team, one of the MLC team where Knight Riders got a team. I think he was leading for them.
LA Knight
And
Riders. LA Knight Riders.
LA Knight Riders and Moin Ali also has a captaincy experience, have been captained in a couple of the domestic teams. So yeah, Pranav, I would like to hear your opinion on KK's overall team. What's your opinion on this? And if you want to give an opinion on the captaincy, you can also give that also. And then as far as opinion of captaincy concerned, I'll also come to Mano also for a second after that, and I'll come to mine also. I'll give my opinion. But I would like to hear Pranav's opinion on the squad.
Yeah. So firstly, before I look at the overall squad with captaincy, yes, the thing is Shreyas Iyer has, won the title for them in 2024, and there were good support staff as well. And that he is also a captain who has led a team like Delhi Capitals to the finals in 2020, has led them to the playoffs many times. So that is, yes, a big miss. But you do have people who have really, really good captaincy experience, like Moeen Ali, Sunil Narayan. But I know Moeen Ali, Sunil Narayan are not much thought of, and I think Narayan in this case would rather prefer to be a bit unburdened, a bit more free instead of being a captain. Whilst I do understand the reason or the rationale behind that they want to make Venkatesh Iyer as a captain for this team, I feel that it would be a toss-up between Ajinkya Rahane and Quinton de Kock, more preferably. They see Venkatesh Iyer more as a long-term preference, and I believe that the amount of money that you have spent on, like if you have spent a lot of money on that particular player, you are expected to have him for a longer period of time. So I definitely see Venkatesh Iyer as a person for that team. But whilst I wouldn't rule Venkatesh Iyer being the captain, I would say it's more leaning towards Rahane and Dekok because both of them have proven experience, local as well as international experience in wide variety of formats. Both of them have their own ways of working, and both of them have been highly effective. Rahane has also been a title-winning player. Dekok has also been the same thing, you know. And Rahane, there's no doubt, he has so much of experience, so much of trophies, and all the kind of accolades that he has earned as a captain. And for a team like KKR, or for any team in general, you want a captain who has an aggressive mindset, but who's soft spoken and who also has, like a calm and patient demeanor. I think Rahane Rahane is an epitome of that, I believe. So I think the captaincy debate is a bit of an issue to ponder on, but they do have good options to kind of choose upon. So that is something that I might not be so much concerned with. With the squad on paper, regardless of the XI that they put, or sorry, the XII they put, it looks good. However, the main concern for me is that they are injury prone. It's primarily injury prone. Many of their players, especially their core players like Sunil Narayan, Andre Russell, they are all pretty injury prone as well. So that's something that I am very, very concerned because for Narayan, you might at least have a backup in the form of Moeen Ali, but you don't have much for Andre Russell, I believe. Moeen Ali can either go as a backup for Sunil Narayan or as for Andre Russell, but there's not much of a backup in that case as well. And that's something that I would have to look upon. They should have looked upon a bit better as well, I believe. But yeah,
Roman Powell is there.
Rahman Powell is there. Yeah. No doubt. Rahman Powell is also there. But just saying, if they want to kind of retain an all-rounder, then their backups look a little bit thin, in my opinion, to be honest. But they have retained the majority of their title-winning squad from last year. You have Rinku Singh, you have Ankush Raghuvanshi, you have Rahmatullah Gurbaz as well. Then you have all your retentions as well, apart from Venkatesh Iyer. And then your fast bowlers as well. You have Hashid and Vaibhav Arora, who have done a lot of damage to many teams in the IPL last year as well, who have been very, very, very effective. I would say that this is a pretty good squad, but are they going to click? Are they going to get themselves towards the playoff is a bit of a doubt, in my opinion.
Mano, who's your preference for captain?
I think it can. For me, I think Russell also should be considered in contention for captaincy because he has also been the captain for Jamaica Talibas in CPL. But I think teams should look forward to. I think if they want to go to the experience route, they'll go to Rahane. But if they're going for the future, for me personally, I think it should be Venkatesh. I think Iyer should be the captain for the team.
Couple of points I would like to mention over here. We all mentioned about the injuries of the players. Let's not forget about the form of certain players. I feel Narayan, since the IPL, his form has been very patchy. He's not been really great. He hasn't scored a lot of runs since the IPL has got over, and it's not just the Narayan. It's also Russell also, and has Pranav has alluded to the injury. Both of them have been injured in the recent past, so that is another concern. And they do have backups. I mean, Mohin Ali is a very capable backup. He can fill in whenever it's required. And Rahman Pal can be a backup, but I don't know whether he's a like backup because Rahman Powell is more of a hitter than he's more of a batter who can bowl a bit, but it's not like Andre Russell who can bat and bowl. So that balance of the squad will be missed if Russell is not there. And I would like to mention another point is the headache of the another opening partner for Narayan, which is either Quinton de Kock or Ramanola Gurbaz. Because we all know Quinton de Kock is a very established and a very experienced player, and what he has done for the whichever team he has played, he's done really well. But I feel we got to give a fair chance to Ramanola Gurbaz also because whenever he got chances, I feel he has done really well. So, and he is that ideal player to partner Sunil Narayan, because if you look at the last year's success, what Salt and Narayan did, both of them went hell for leather. I see Ramanogula Gubas gives me the similar sort of style of player what Salt gives, and he's more aggressive. He's a right-hand batsman. That also makes a huge difference. And he has played for KKR. He knows the conditions very well. So I would instead of Quinton Deco. See, Quinton Deco is more of a luxury backup. He's a very good backup to have. I'd rather go with Ramanola Goba simply because of the success what KKR has got, the template which they follow. I feel starting with Ramanola Gobas makes more sense to me. And another issue I would like to point out is the lack of bowling partner for Vaibhav Arora. Because if you have noticed what Vaibhav Arora has done, which is he had a able partner in Mitchell Stark. And Mitchell Stark, of course, he hasn't done well in the tournament league stage. When the playoffs comes, he has produced wickets. And if you look at this team, I don't think there's anybody who could partner Vaibhav Arora in the power play. You got Hashitana, who's more of a first change bowler, can bowl in the middle and the death overs. Umran Malik, he's a middle over, and in death overs, he's more of a middle over bowler. Spencer Johnson, very unproven. Andrik Nokia, recent form has been amazing. Can he be that power play bowler? I'm not too sure. So if you look at microscopic lens, they don't have another power play bowler rather than Vaibhav Arora. So that is something they have missed. Or else you have to either bowl Varun Chakravarti or Sunil Narayan in the power play, which they can do. But who's going to be the one who's going to bowl them in the middle overs? That's a big question mark. And as far as captaincy concerned, I feel obviously I'd rather go with Ajinkya Rahane simply because of his experience of what he has done. I don't need to add more to what, because the panel has already added a lot about Ajinkya Rahane as a captain. But if you have bought Venkatesh Iyer for that much amount of money, then you would have thought him as a captain. You would have thought him as a captain because that much amount of money means that he should be the next phase of the franchise, the next new era of the franchise. So it would be very interesting to see. I mean, personally, because he's also not a bad option because he's also very sensible and a very calm person, and he's a very educated person. I mean, he has done a lot of degrees and all. Recently, I'm hearing that he's pursuing a PhD in finance. So that's the level of thinking he has got. All of us would all be in agreement that I think Ajinkya Rahane should be the captain. We all wait and watch. Any other opinion? I don't think we need to add anything else other than for KKR. Anything else you would like to add, guys?
Anything else? I don't think, not a whole lot, but again, like you rightfully mentioned, like Sunil Narayan's form has been a bit scratchy and all that. Andre Russell also, I have to point that out. Andre Russell has been dealing with a little bit of those
Yeah.
recurring hamstring issues again and again, the same issues that he's been having for a while. It's pretty interesting to see. And you pointed out they don't have another power play bowler to pair up with Vaibhav Arora. I think that is where they would try to use Andrik Nokia once again, maybe, or they will try to pair him up with Sunil Narayan or Varun Chakravarti because they can use spin. Or if that's the case, then they might bring in an extra spinner. So in order to use them in the middle overs, then they could bring in Mayank Markande if they want to. But it depends, and yeah, I think maybe it's like Mayank Markande is in like a replacement for Suyash Sharma. Maybe that could be a reason why he's there, but pretty difficult to
So
see that
basically,
it's
overall, final two questions before we move on to the next team. Final two questions. Your ratings in this squad out of 10, and will they qualify for the playoffs? I'll start with Manav. Give me will they qualify? These are the two questions I would like to conclude.
My rating is probably a 7 because I don't see a captain that, from the first impression from for other teams, we can see that we know that this is the captain. And for playoffs, I think they'll make it somehow because Bravo is also a champion because they have Bravo as a mentor. So, and squad is also experienced and proven. So I think they'll make it to playoffs, but they will probably compete with the likes of Mumbai and others for that fourth spot, probably third and fourth spot.
Okay. Pranav?
I mean, if it's rating means I could give maybe around 6.5. I mean, I'll give 6.7 out of 10 for the squad that they have, given that it looks strong, but it's whether if it's going to work is a matter of time and a matter of certainty as well. And therefore, I feel that it might be hard for them to make it to the playoffs. And I won't be surprised if they do, but it's going to be very hard.
Ajit?
I'll give them a 7.5 if I'm being a little generous, because I feel that Rinku Singh is going to have a bit of a resurgence, I would say, because compared to the this past season, I mean, his numbers don't look that impressive, because it's not his fault, because he's not able to get enough chances because of the way. I mean, when you have Phil Salt, Sunil Narine, and whenever you have Shreyas Iyer, Raghuvanshi, yes, so and Andre Russell, like whenever they have, so I would say that retaining Rinku Singh was an important thing that they've done. And also they maintain the spin twins of Sunil Narain and Varun Chakravarti, because Sunil Narain's form is a bit patchy, but I think come IPL time, I think he will, I don't know, he'll bring back that 2024 form with the ball, I would say at least. I mean, with the ball, he is ever consistent with the ball, even though he's having a bit of a questions with the bat. So I think with the spin twins, with Rinku Singh, Venkatesh Iyer, and you have the two really gun fast bowlers, Indian fast bowlers, and Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Arora. I think they're good enough to. I mean, I don't know whether for sure they'll qualify for the playoffs, but it's going to be a pretty tight race and especially for a lot of teams. Though that is that the third and fourth spot is going to be a pretty tight race, I would say. But I'll still give them a 7.5 out of 10. But regarding the chances for them to make it to the playoffs, considering the players they've lost, like Shreyas Iyer, Phil Salt, and Stark, I will lean towards no, because of we don't know who's going to be the captain and all that. So, I mean, there are a few question marks here and there. But I would rather say like they might finish close somewhere if it's like a close margin, like a close net run rate kind of finish, maybe between fourth and fifth place. I'll give them like maybe fifth spot, so I would still lean towards like they won't make the playoffs. But like
Oh,
Pranav said, I will also not be surprised if they make the playoffs, because they are defending champions for a reason.
true, true. My opinion is, if I rate this squad, I would say I'll give them 6 out of 10. Simply because there are too many issues are there in this team. The lack of captaincy option, lack of proper captains, and this is the big issue. Like, if you're putting Rahane in the team as a captain, can he is he guaranteed a spot in the team? Because if you're captain, the captain should be someone who should be a guaranteed starter in your team. So by that logic, it's a very tricky situation for them. And of course, injury issues they have got, and in terms of lack of backups for certain key players, if one of them is injured, then it'll be very difficult. And as I said, lack of power play bowling. But yes, as Ajit has mentioned, they can compensate it with using the spinners. But if I could rate them, it's 6 out of 10, and I don't think they could qualify for the players. I don't think so. It's too many uncertainty around this team. So with that being said, will end KKR now, and we'll move on to the new team, to the next team, which is Delhi Capitals. And I got to say, man, they have they have suppressed a lot of people, man. They have suppressed a lot of people. I mean, right from the retentions till the squad building, they have done amazing job. And what I would say is that, of course, the talking point is leaving Rishabh Pant out and the whole fiasco of the right to match strategy. I think we have spoken about it in the last episode. But I feel, my opinion, Delhi Capitals has been probably one of the best teams in the auction, where they have strategized their planning. They haven't overpaid a lot to their players, and they've got backups to each and every player, and that is something you need. You look into in every team whether they got backups for every department. So with that being said, I like to ask Pranav, what's your opinion of Delhi Capitals? Are you happy with it, the way they are done?
Okay, firstly, the squad is pretty good though, in my opinion. I think it's a stronger squad than what last year was, actually, because let's just take a look at the squad once again a bit. You have with the batters, you have Jake Fraser McGurk, who was RTM, Harry
Yes.
Brooks, the retained Tristan Stubbs, Faf du Plessis, and Karun Nair. All the five of them have been really good players. Some of them have played, like Karun Nair, have played for Delhi Capitals in the past as a middle order batter. And then people like Harry Brook, Tristan Stubbs, and Fraser McGurk have been proving themselves. Of course, not excluding du Plessis in this, though. He's been like an excellent captain, an excellent player as well. And then you have KL Rahul, Abhishek Pearl, and Donovan Ferreira. The best thing that Delhi did was, in fact, perhaps the literally best thing that they have done throughout the auctions was, not only did they buy KL Rahul at a pretty steal price of 14 crores, if you compare the other two fellow players have gone for 20 plus crores. Buying KL Rahul at 14 was an absolute steal.
Yes.
Masterclass by them. And at
Yes.
the same time, they increased the value of the other players that they were bidding and made the other teams to buy was not just, how to say, was not just evil at its best, perfectly evil, but it was equally funny and equally kind of,
That
how to say,
owner, bro, that
yeah,
owner
that
from
owner was terrific.
he does plays that poker face pretty well, man. You cannot read him.
You cannot read him. That's what I'm saying. It's also kind of, it's very evil. It was very fun, extremely fun. And it was also oddly inspirational in the sense how they kind of conducted, how they executed their ideas into thought really, really, really well by not only protecting themselves, but also shooting their arrows towards everyone. Literally. Hats off to the owner, hats off to the think tank, literally, with Delhi. Wicket keepers, I think KL Rahul can take care of it mostly. Or if they want, they can take Abhishek Paul. He also is very, very promising as well. And we've seen in the last year as well on how Corral was also doing. I wasn't sure whether he's done wicket keeping duties in IPL, but I've seen him doing for Bengal as well in the past few months.
Yeah, he's a keeper. He's a keeper.
Yeah, he's a pretty good keeper as well, though, I believe. And then when it comes to bowling department, I don't think there's much wrong with this one. This is a pretty strong bowling department, in my opinion. They have a local core, but they also have like really, really good, overseas fast bowlers like Mitchell Stark. I'm not sure how much was it. I think it was around 12 or 13
11,
crores. That was
around,
also a
11,
big steal.
around 12 crores. Around 12
Yeah,
crores.
around 12 crores.
1175 to be precise.
11.75. Yeah, there you go. Big deal. Smart work from Delhi. And then you have his backup called Dushmanta Chamira, who also played the IPL as well last year, but wasn't so effective on Lucknow pitches. But Delhi could help him naturally. And then you have your good players who have played in Delhi pretty well, like Mukesh Kumar, Mohit Sharma, and then all your other spin bowlers as well, like Kuldeep Yadav, Akshar Patel, so on and so on. They've also have packed out with a good load of power hitters as well in the middle order. Like a player like Samir Rizvi, then you also have Tristan Stubbs in the middle order, and so on, who could do really, really well. So, and of course, yeah, Abhishek Paul. So overall, they have a very, very, very good squad. And my most likely captaincy option for this squad is either going to be KL Rahul or Akshar Patel. Given that Akshar was actually their highest valued player, they've looked at him as the main long-term option, as their number one long-term option. But I won't be surprised if KL also gets captaincy though, because he is proven as well as a captain both locally. It's just that some of those were not something that could boast of him well, but with Lucknow Super Giants, he's actually done pretty well. He's gone playoffs twice as well. So he is a pretty good captain. But maybe if they want to be a bit different, then they might go for Akshar Patel as well.
Ajit, your opinion?
Maybe if you want, you can use Dushmanta, Chamira instead of Stark if you want to. And you have your death bowlers covered, man. Natarajan and Mohit Sharma. Mohit Sharma, who had a resurgence this past 2 seasons for Gujarat. He's had a resurgence, and I think him and the death, along with Natarajan, it's pretty good. Obviously, you have your spin department with Akshar Patel and Kuldeep Yadav, and then you also went in to get Darshan Nalkande, who's also a pretty good spinner as well. And of course, I want to get the batting order. I mean, you have Jake Fraser McGurk. When they used the art team, got him at a very good price. And obviously, Harry Brook, with the recent form, he is in amazing form in Test cricket right now. The way he's been playing, especially right now, the New Zealand series that's going on, England versus By the way, I just want to add that England are up 2-0 against New Zealand, the very same New Zealand who swept us. So you need to marinate that right now and see what exactly we did.
I think
What
it's
exactly
2-1,
happened.
right? I think it's 2-1, right? They won a one
No,
test
2-0.
match.
2-0,
2-0.
2-0.
2-0.
Okay.
A test match is yet to be played. But anyway, I don't want to dwell upon too much of that. Harry Brook, like I said, is an amazing form in Test cricket and also pretty good in white ball as well in the recent past. So Harry Brook is someone who has to look out for. Tristan Stubbs has been in phenomenal form in all three formats for South Africa. He's been like one of the most vastly improved players as well, I would say. Was improved a lot as a batter, has been phenomenal. And of course, I have to bring this up though. KL Rahul being bought for 14 crores. I thought KL Rahul was going to go for like 20 crores, like the way Shreyas Iyer and Pant were going for a lot of money. But I mean, that was a big steal. I mean, considering that 14 crores is still a lot of money, don't get us wrong. But but that's a steal considering you had Rishabh Pant and Shreyas Iyer being there. So I would say that it's either KL Rahul or Abhishek Pural who's going to do the wicket keeping duties, but it depends though because KL Rahul's fitness problems, it might, Delhi might consider Pural for doing the wicket keeping duties for a longer time. If needed, they could use KL Rahul as a keeper, but mostly he'll be an outfielder. And of course, I also want to bring up Faf du Plessis being bought at base price. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with Faf du Plessis. Some of them say that they could still play him and give captaincy to him as well, but I'm not sure about that. I don't think. But like I'll also answer the other question as well in terms of captaincy. It's either between KL Rahul or Akshar Patel. Faf du Plessis may be an option. Not really sure. Still, you can consider him as another option for captaincy. But I would still go with Akshar Patel. Akshar Patel, I mean, they've got him, they've retained him for a lot of money. I think they're going to think for long term captaincy and all that. So I would prefer Akshar Patel, but it's going to be interesting to see because KL Rahul, for all we know, KL Rahul might be the captain. You never know. Also, I want to bring this up. Ashutosh Sharma being bought by Delhi Capitals was a big steal, considering that Shashank Singh and Ashutosh Sharma were two that sort of very valuable players that Punjab had because their batting order pretty much, their top order was pretty much a flop for the whole season, and except for the 262 run chase they did in Eden Gardens, but their batting was pretty much relied upon Ashutosh Sharma and Shashank Singh, and still baffling that why Punjab did not retain Ashutosh Sharma or bring him back in the auction. I don't know, but like I said, Ashutosh Sharma, another addition to Delhi Capitals. It also strengthens their batting a lot. Top to bottom, it looks good. If I want to spot a weakness, see another backup spinner in Dashal Nalkande. I mistakenly thought he's a spinner, but he's a pace bowler. But another backup spinner somewhere that they might have missed it off because you're going to depend too much upon Akshar Patel and Kuldeep Yadav. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you do need to have another backup spinner somewhere. That's the only weakness I would say, but their team looks solid gun. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what I had to say about Delhi Capitals.
I mean, Stubbs can bowl though. Spinner.
I mean, he can bowl a bit of off spin, but you do need to have a backup spinner, a
You need to have
proper,
a
genuine
proper spinner. I agree with you. You need to have a proper spinner. Yeah, I agree with you. Manav, go ahead, bro. What's your opinion on Delhi Capitals?
I think this is like one of the best teams in IPL. I think the batting is top class, wicket keepers. You got KL Rahul for a steal. I thought RCB will go for him, but Delhi got him for cheap. All rounders, I think all rounders is where they have little experience, but they do have proven players. Spin. It's mostly Akshay Patel and Kuldeep Yadav and fast bowlers. I think fast bowlers is where I get quite one of the weakness because it's an injury prone fast bowling lineup they have. You see Natarajan injury prone. Mohit Sharma also had injuries in the past, and Mukesh Kumar also. Then Chamira, who you will say is a backup, is also injury prone. This team is injury prone, I would say, in bowling department. And captaincy, for me, it's obvious it's KL Rahul. I don't see anyone else, even if someone is valued higher than him. I think KL Rahul is obvious for me.
Okay, KL Rahul. Okay. I'll say a couple of things of Delhi Capitals so far. I mean, they've got probably one of the most deadliest batting lamps ever, bro. I mean, you got JFM, J. Fraser McGurk, Harry Brook, KL Rahul, Abhishek Pural, Stubbs, Ashutosh Sharma. Then on top of that, you added Duplessis. You've got Tournament Ferreira. Let me tell you guys, Tournament Ferreira is a fearless hitter, man. If you've seen SA20, then you understand what I'm saying. They've got everything covered. And their fast bowling lineup, I mean, Manav has mentioned that it's a little injury prone. I do agree to him to a certain extent, but currently looking at what Mitchell Stark is doing, he hasn't had a major injury for the last couple of years. And yeah, you can say Natarajan is probably more injury prone. But having said that, I think the fast bowling lineup is stacked. They got good fast bowling lineup. They got fast bowlers in every phases of the game. They've got fast bowlers in the power play, in the middle, and the death overs. I think that's where they're covered up beautifully. And the couple of weaknesses I would like to mention is they lack an Indian middle order batter, a lack of experienced middle order batter because Ashutosh Sharma is a relatively younger batsman because he's going to play his second season. That is the second season blues, as we call it. And Samir is very young and he needs experience. KL Rahul and Abhishek Paral, they're all top order batters. So that I feel that middle order is something that the Indian experience, Indian middle order is something they missed a bit. Having said that, they covered it up with overseas middle order, which is amazing. They got probably one of the best middle order batsmen.
And
And
also
Indian,
Karuna,
they got
you can cover it up with
Karuna,
Karuna to an extent.
Karuna, yes, but
Karuna is also a top order. He's also a top order.
Karuna can play in the middle order, but I don't know about Karuna's latest form also. I mean, apparently he's doing well, but I'm not too sure whether you can bank on him is what my point is. So, and another weakness I would like to mention, I think one of you has mentioned that the third spinner, I think you need to have a proper third spinner in the team. Yeah, Ajit has mentioned it. You need to have a proper third spinner. Of course, you've got part-time spinners like Ajay Mandal, you've got Tristan, but they are your part-time spinners. You need a proper
In a ground like Lucknow, they will probably
No, no,
face
no,
the
no, no,
toughest.
no.
Yeah, tell me, tell me, tell me.
Ajay Mandal, with due respect, is a more of a bowling all-rounder. He's a slow left-arm orthodox. He's a bowling all-rounder than a
If I'm not
batting.
wrong, play for CSK. If I'm not wrong.
He played for CSK like a like for like to Jadeja kind.
Yeah,
But he's a bowling all-rounder. He's a very good bowler actually. As a third
I
spinner, he can be a very good one.
I don't know. I mean, he can, but you never know. Uh,
Yeah,
and
yeah. No one, I mean, no one knows, but he's a very, very good one
yeah.
actually.
And another weakness I would like to mention is lack of proper all-rounders. Yes, everybody will tell that impact sub has kind of reduced that impact of all-rounders, and I would agree with all that opinion. But I still feel that other than Akshar Patel, they don't have a proper genuine all-rounder, and that's something that it's a bit of a missing factor. But on the flip side of it, probably they are probably the best team in using the impact player rule. They got specialists in every department, and I feel they can use the impact player role to the full extent. So I feel they have covered that up beautifully. I'm not saying that all rounders are important. All rounders are key in T20 cricket, but with this impact player role, bringing in another variation to the game, they can use the impact player role beautifully. So that's another point I would like to mention. As far as captaincy is concerned, I think I'll rather go with Akshar Patel being the mainstay of the team for number of years. I think they have to, because KL Rahul, the recent form, what he has gone through, I don't know whether burdening him with captaincy would make sense. Having said that, I mean, Pranav has already mentioned it that he has qualified. He took Lucknow to playoffs twice, so that is an incredible achievement. But looking at the current form, what KL Rahul is going through, I'd rather not burden him with the captaincy and let him play freely, which is something that KL Rahul needs, because if he wants to if he wants to get back to his Indian team in T20 team, then he has to play that fearless cricket that which we all know he's capable of. It's just that he's not doing it on a consistent basis.
Yeah,
And yeah, and one thing I like to mention about, which is something that which is something we haven't talked about, is that they have restructured the entire support staff. They got rid of Ponting, Ryan Harris, Shane Watson, everybody. They also removed Saurav Ganguly as the director of cricket in IPL. They put him as a director of cricket in overall global franchise point of view in a bigger role. And they brought a new and fresh support staff. Hemang Badani as a coach. They also got Venugopal Rao as a director of cricket. So they got Munaf Patel as a bowling coach. So they've got a new support staff and very Indian centric support staff. They haven't gone for big names. So it'll be very interesting to see how they gel with the players. So that's something very, very interesting to see. Without further, I think Ajit has already answered the question of who's going to qualify for the players. I don't need to ask him about that. But I like to
They
ask.
can give a rating.
I'll give the okay. This is two questions: ratings and whether they qualify or not. Ajit, you go ahead.
Yeah, I've already mentioned that they're going to qualify for the playoffs. In terms of rating, it's an 8 on 10. I didn't go for a higher score because of they don't have another backup spinner. Probably that's where they will have a bit of an issue. But apart from that, yeah, this team looks pretty solid.
Manav?
For me, I think the squad is 8 on 10. 2 points I'll be cutting because of injury prone form. For me personally, their pace has an injury prone and lack of all-rounders, experienced all-rounders. And I will obviously say that they will qualify for playoffs. but I won't be surprised if they don't qualify for playoffs.
Okay.
And also, I do want to add this up. So right now, I've said Delhi Capitals are going to qualify, and also I've said CSK will qualify for the playoffs also in my previous video. So I said LSG and Mumbai. I mean, LSG, I don't think they'll make it, but Mumbai, they might fight it out. So that's where I would stand for Mumbai Indians. It's a bit doubtful as well because too much of dependence on just the core players, and they don't have enough backups. But that would be the only thing. But Mumbai Indians, it's still also they're going to be in the middle of the pack. So I just want to add that up as well. So I've said CSK and Delhi will qualify.
Okay. Pranav, go ahead.
For me, I think in the previous one I said CSK and Mumbai can qualify. I think CSK was a strong one though. I said because of how they put their squad. Mumbai is same thing. If they fire, they are going into playoffs. It's like wildfire, not just fire, wildfire kind. With Delhi, the thing is they have a good chance of making to the playoffs, but the primary thing is it depends on their captaincy tactics, because whoever is going to come is going to be a new captain. If you're not going to have like KL Rahul as a captain, whomever is going to lead this team is going to be a new one. And I'm going to say it's definitely not going to be someone who's experienced. It could be a more long-term option-oriented kind of captain. And at the same time, there's a bit of the injury prone thing with fast bowlers, but generally many fast bowlers are injury prone. It's not like injury is like completely elusive from them. Many of them have had faced injuries in the past and even till now. So if I do not want to focus too much on it. Yes, the lack of genuine experienced all-rounders is a bit of a concern, but I think Delhi Capitals can manage that. I believe that they could manage it pretty well in this case. I give them
They have a good, considering the impact player role, they can manage it really well.
Yeah, that's the thing. The thing is, they actually have a really good squad where they could use impact players really, really well, be it for batting or for bowling. So it's a huge plus for Delhi in this case. However, whilst I do give a score of 7.6 out of 10 for Delhi, playoffs is going to be a 50-50 chance. It's 50-50. It depends on how well they perform, how well the captain is going to lead. Because as said, there's been a lot of the coaching and their staff personal changes within the entire team itself. So
Okay, my ratings, I think I'll give it an 8.5, simply because of they have covered up every basis, they have covered up in every slots. And another reason why they have done that is because they have got, as I said just now, I said that they have probably the best team when it comes to using the impact sub, and they'll use it properly. uh, Having said that, will they qualify for the playoffs? I do think they have it, what it takes to qualify for the playoffs, but it all depends upon the captaincy issue. They need a proper captain, man, because if they don't have a good captain, how will they able to rally around this team? Because a captain is as good as the team is. So there is a question mark in captaincy. Will they qualify for the playoffs? I don't think so. They do have a good team. I think they can, but it all depends upon the captaincy. If they don't have a captain, then this team might find it difficult. So I'm leaving it as a 50-50 though. So with that being said, I think we'll move on to the next team, which is Punjab Kings, or should I call it Australian Kings, because they're filled with a lot of Australians. As we all know that whenever Ponting comes in, he always favors. You look at let me tell you the number of Australians. So Josh Inglis, Australian. Maxwell, Australian. Marcus Stoinis, Australian. 3. Aaron Hardy, Australian. Then you got Xavier Bartlett. 5 Australians. 5 of your overseas players are Australians. This is what Ricky Ponting is trying to bring. It's not Punjab Kings, it's Australian Kings. It's as simple as that. So this team, coming in with a lot of money. They went big on Shreyas Iyer first, so they have sorted out the cap.
The most money.
Lot of money.
No, the most money out of all teams. The highest.
Yes.
No, the second highest.
No, they were the highest. The amount of money they had coming into the auction, they had the highest.
First of all, first things first, they sorted the captaincy issue by bringing in Shreyas Iyer, and Shreyas Iyer and Ponting combo, we all know they have worked in the past. They also spent big on 2 of the Indian players, which is Arshdeep Singh, bought in by RTM, and Yuzi Chahal, which is a very unlikely selection in some ways, where everybody predicted certain other players, KL Rahul or maybe Shami, who can come in those prices, but Chahal is out of nowhere. But good to him. I mean, he deserves every money he gets. And they've also filled up their team with a lot of the middle order batsmen. I think they also have a good middle order batsman. But one thing, bro, with this so much of money, they forgot one thing, man. Why didn't they buy an opener? Why didn't they buy the opener, man? You got buckload of money. Even in the unsold players also, there's still good openers are there, man. Why didn't you pick one of them? Is my question. That's my opinion. But we'll further discuss the squad while I will straight away ask this question to Pranav. What's your overview of the squad?
Goodness. Honestly speaking, yeah, I really agree, man. It's not Punjab Kings at all. It's just literally Australian Kings in Punjab. It does not. Goodness me. But honestly speaking, the thing is, no, the fact that they have not chosen much of top order batters itself can be seen in how they have selected the squad itself. Because if you look at their all rounders like Marcus Stoinis or Aaron Hardy, they are top order all rounders, big top order all rounders. They could bat at opening or even number 3 or number 4. That kind of game that they have. And you are not going to discard a player like Marcus Stoinis if he's going to open or be at number 3, because there's two things about him. One, when he opened, there was a game where he played for Melbourne Stars, I think, or I can't remember, in the Big Bash League. He made 147 of 79. That, if
Yep,
I'm not
yep.
wrong, is I think it's in the top 5 highest scores of all time. Yeah, in Big Bash history, that's the highest of all time. It's still the highest of now. I think it's been like 6 or 7 years since that last occurred. And even last year, in a ground like Chepauk, even though the score was so high, he single-handedly brought Lucknow to a win. 24 of 62 balls, where all the Lucknow batsmen were falling like a pack of dominoes. This guy stood tall, weathered it, and whacked it out. You have Josh Inglis can play at the top. A very, very good pick at the top. Even though even though you have a wicket keeper in the form of Prab Simran Singh, both Prab Simran and Inglis can play at the top, and they would be very explosive. I feel like they would feed upon each other very, very well. And I think that's something that I would see. And look at their batters as well. You have Shreyas Iyer, you have Shashank Singh, Nehal Vadera, Hanu Singh, Priyan Chari, and Paila Avinash. Many of these players have been very good, have been proven batters. And when it comes to, I'll also answer a question itself earlier. When you have a person like Shreyas Iyer, you're already having an IPL winning captain. You're already having a very strong captain who has led to playoff. And it's with the same coach in 2020 and 2019, 2020 and 21. That Delhi Capitals have gone to the to the playoffs, even in the finals
Yes.
itself in 2020. It's the same captain and the same coach. So both of them combining together is a really, really big positive for Punjab. They have actually nailed it up really, really well. Of course, spending was a big thing, but they had the highest amount of money, 110.5 crores, man. Literally, like enough amount of money to produce a big movie and reap a lot of money from it. That's what these guys have done. They've just reaped it like anything as a result of that investment. I don't seem to see a lot of issues with this team overall in general, because they've literally covered all their bases. They have a coach who's very good and who's like literally a legend in his own right. Their support staff is also pretty good as well. The only drawback that I have is the place where not one, two drawbacks. One is the place where they are going to play. Mullanpur. If it was Mohali, I might have actually not bothered much about it and instead backed them all the way. But because they're going to play a lot of the games in Mullanpur, I'm not sure how they would be able to tackle the slowness of that pitch. And the second thing is, even if they do tackle it, I'm not sure how the team would be able to gel up. Because even though you have Aussies and even though you have like so many experienced players, this is not it's not the same team from what it was last year. It is a pretty different team. It's a much stronger team, but it's a very different team. So you have to kind of, there needs to be a good link between each player, regardless of whether they're playing or not. And only if there's good camaraderie and overall, chemistry of the team being positive enough, I would then see them moving towards the playoffs very, very strongly. I could see them literally Punjab Kings in the playoffs. I might even say that really strongly. If they bat well, they are surely in the playoffs. That's it. It could still be difficult if they do not gel as a team.
Ajit, go. What's your opinion?
Obviously, I have to bring this up that getting Shreyas Iyer was probably the best thing that they've done. Getting a captain, and not only just like any captain, an IPL winning captain this past season. I mean, it's very rare to see an IPL winning captain move teams like this. I think this is the first time, or maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, this I mean, yeah, obviously, with the amount of money they had, it's very shocking that they did not go for an opening batsman. But I think they could still use either Marcus Stoinis or Josh Inglis as their opener with Prabhsimran Singh. But I think that regardless of their opening combination or I would say overall their top order batting, their middle order is very solid. Obviously, you have someone like Glenn Maxwell, Marcus Stoinis, and you have Shashank Singh and Nehal Vadera to, bolster their middle order. If you want to, you can use either Aaron Hardy or Asmatullah Omarzai is as a new ball bowler, depending on the situation. Spinners, I think, yeah, them getting Yuzvendra Chahal, pretty high value, but I think that Chahal deserves it, and I think a pretty good fit for Punjab with the conditions in Mullanpur. I would say for the fast bowlers, especially Arshdeep Singh, I don't know, they could have retained him for 18 crores, just as a part of your retention, and you use your RTM to get him for 18 crores. Which I don't even know what were they thinking, but anyway, they got Arshdeep Singh back. They do get Lockie Ferguson. I don't know about that, whether he's good in Mullanpur. Maybe in Mohali, yes, because too much of he has enough pace and the ground is big, maybe, but I don't know about that. And they also got Xavier Bartlett as well, a pretty good bowler. I mean, you have out of the 8 or 7 overseas players they've got, they have 5 of them Australians. So I mean, it's pretty clear as to what Ricky Ponting, what are the overseas players that Ricky Ponting wants. Vaishak Vijay Kumar also a pretty good addition as well. I think a very promising fast bowler. Marco Janssen, who's been doing phenomenal job through this recent past, especially for South Africa in Test matches and T20. He's been doing very well. Marco Janssen, I think, a pretty good selection for Punjab. Yeah, their opening combination, yeah, it's a bit of a doubt. Obviously, someone like Marcus Stoinis, as good as he is I don't know whether consistency is a bit of an issue. Same thing with Maxwell. The thing is that with Maxwell, he performs well for 2, 3 seasons for a different franchise, and then all of a sudden has a bad season. And I don't know, all of a sudden he goes cold. You have Harpreet Barar Rasul, they got him back, who's been a very solid bowler for Punjab this past season. It's a bit of, I don't know whether, I can't say it as a misfit like a misfit squad, but I don't know, it has to gel. I think Shreyas Iyer and Ricky Ponting have a lot of work to do getting their team gelling and everything. But as Pranav said, that if they gel and if they do well, they can make the playoffs. But I don't know, it's pretty difficult. They have a good squad, but whether they will make the playoffs or not, I'd say no, because it's a lot of work for Punjab to do, and I don't know whether I don't know that who are they going to select, and the overseas players they have. You can only select 4 overseas players. I think they'll have a big problem with them juggling around who they want to play and all that. Sometimes you make too much of changes with the squad. It's not going to end up that well. I don't know. It's If you ask me like whether they're going to make the playoffs, I would probably say no. I'll also give the rating as well right away. If I would give a rating, I will give them a pretty generous rating. I'll give them a 6.5, simply because it's I don't know. On paper it looks a good squad, but I just don't know. There's something missing in there. I feel it's just a pretty much a overhaul. I would say a completely new team altogether. Obviously, we have someone like Maxwell and Stoinis who are match winners as well. Don't get me wrong, but consistency have been an issue. Marco Janssen, he's been doing well recently, but in IPL sometimes he goes for a lot of runs. Asmatullah Omarzai did not have a pretty impactful year for Gujarat. Ashdeep and Chahal being there is pretty good and all that, but I don't know. It's too much dependence on Shreyas Iyer, Sashank Singh, and also their overseas players, depending on how they're going to fit in. But yeah, I would just rate them as a 6.5 out of 10. And if you ask me like whether they'll make the playoffs, I'll say probably not. I'll say probably not.
Manav, go ahead.
This team is actually, I think they obviously lack experience in opening. I think the another weakness I can see is who will be their 4 obvious overseas players. I can only see like Marcus Stoinis being one being certain, but other than him, I think I don't know who's their star overseas players. The rest are obviously, I feel, not that much of a good value for overseas players. And then other thing is that their team is obviously they have a good Indian setup, I would say, in Shreyas Iyer, Nehal Vadera, who's obviously proved his worth in Mumbai Indians. Then Mushir Khan, who's obviously the brother of Sarfraz Khan, he's also one to look for. Then Arshdeep Singh, who's probably the star bowler. Yash Thakur has also proved his worth in Lucknow Super Giants. Vaishak and Kuldeep Sen, they proved why they were useful for RCB and Rajasthan respectively. Spin is where I feel is weakness for, according to me. Just Yuzvi Chahal is their main spinner. Other than him, rest are like part-time spinners according to me. Harpreet Karar is also a good player. He's one to look out for, but in terms of experience and spin is their weakness, and experienced opener is another weakness. And probably Prav Simran will be that impact player for them because he was used mostly as an impact player last season.
Yeah, okay. I'll say a couple of things. First of all, I will say that I think after a long time they bought a captain. I think it's been 10 years coming that they bought a proper captain, if I'm being honest. I think after probably George Bailey, I think after George Bailey, they finally got a good captain because in between they tried out someone else.
Yeah,
But
that was when George Bailey was George Bailey, and then before he became something else.
God, I know very well. But I'll say they've got a proper captain. I think he's there for the
And if I
long
want to
term.
specify it, Adrit, before you go, I would want to specify it, that was George Bailey when he was normal, and then after that, when he changed his batting stance.
I don't know. You really want to bring this out? Batting stance. Anyway,
I don't want to
so
I don't want to open the can of worms out, but okay, maybe some other time I'll separately say why I'm saying that.
oh god.
Hmm.
Anyway. I was saying no. I think they've got a proper captain who is there for a long haul. I think he's probably your investment. May not win anything in this year, but maybe in next couple of years he could win something because he's a proven captain. They've got a solid middle order, as everybody has mentioned. They've got a solid middle order, and probably they got a good Indian core also because that is also another thing that is lacking in Punjab Kings is the lack of Indian core. I feel they've addressed it because let's be honest, Shreyas Iyer, proven Indian player. Ashdeep Singh, proven Indian player. Chahal, proven Indian player. You've got Shashank Singh, a rising star. Nehal Vadara, rising star. You've got Prabh Simran, rising star. And these are the 6 Indian players which is required in Indian. If you want to win an IPL, you
And
need to have
Harpreet
proper
Bra.
Indian. And I feel they've addressed the Indian core really well. Like, that is something that Punjab hasn't done it for a long time, but they have sorted out that Indian core really well. The couple of issues I would like to mention. Obviously, we have talked about the lack of opener, but they get compensated with Marcus Stoinis or Josh Inglis, so that's something that's not an issue of such. But another issue I would like to mention is that they only got 2 Indian proper bowlers. They don't have other experienced Indian bowlers they could fall back with because Vaishak Vijay Kumar, he's a very talented guy. Really rate him highly, but can he step up in IPL cricket? As a big question mark. Kuldeep Sen did well for Rajasthan Royals in one season, but has gone down a bit. I think Manav has also mentioned about the another quality spinner. Yes, that is something that is slightly a weakness, but I think they can compensate with Harpreet. But I also can bowl. And let me tell you, Maxwell is an improved bowler. He's an improved spinner. Let's be real. He's been a very good spinner. To mention another weakness is another. They don't have a proper death bowler apart from Ashdeep. They don't have someone who could partner up with Ashdeep Singh in death bowling. So I feel that is where they could get stuck. I think I myself will answer this question itself in terms of I think Ajit has already started that rating this question. If I were to rate this team out of 10, I'll rather rate it 7 simply because couple of they don't have proper death bowlers and also a lack of a proper spinner backup, but they can use it with Harpreet Bar and Maxwell. Lack of openers also, but I think they could somehow manage it with Marcus Stoinis or Josh English. So that's the only reason. And will they qualify playoffs? I don't think so. I seriously don't think it's an investment. I think that this will take a year or two to get this team fully ready. This team is not ready yet. If they qualify for the playoffs, if everything goes well, I think they can. But looking at this team, I feel they're not ready yet. I don't see them in the top 4. Manav, what's your opinion? Do you think what's your rating of the squad and will they qualify for the playoffs?
My rating is 6. I think this squad is average, I would say. It's average for me. And playoffs, I think they will fight for contention alongside Lucknow in that wooden spoon spot for me personally. I don't think they'll qualify for playoffs.
Ajit, I think you have said your rating, but please say it again. You said 6.5 if I'm not
Yeah,
7 or 7.
I said 6.5 out of 10. I said 6.5 out of 10, and they're not going to make the playoffs.
Pranav, you said they didn't qualify. They won't qualify. What's your rating?
I give them 7 out of 10 because how the team overall itself looks like. I feel that if they gel well, they can definitely go to the playoffs. But I would also say it's no, mostly no. But if
Okay.
if it clicks up, then they could have a run. They could really have a long winning run. I would say they'd be unstoppable.
True. They can do that. That being said, that I think we'll end big Punjab Kings, and the final team of this video is SRH. And the first order I'd like to mention about SRH is this batting lineup, bro. This is a criminal batting lineup, bro. I cannot see this coming, bro. I get goosebumps when I mention this batting lineup. If I mention the top six, let me mention the top six. Travis Head, Abhishek Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Nitish Reddy, Heinrich Klaassen, Abhinav Manohar, who's doing really well in the Karnataka Premier League. So he's a very good player. And if you add Kaminda Mendes is here as a reserve also, bro, I cannot believe. And look at the bowling also. They've also revamped the bowling lineup also. They've got Shami, Cummins, Harshal Patel. They got two gun spinners, Rahul Chair and Adam Samba. Bro, I cannot believe this, man. This team, the batting lineup is criminal as hell, bro. I cannot believe this. And they've done well in the auction also, considering that strength is batting. Bowling is also, somehow they have sorted out, although there's some weakness here and there. But further, I'll open it to Ajit because he wants to say something. So I might as well just go to you, Ajit, for your opinion on SRH.
Probably the best batting lineup in the tournament, I would say, on paper. This is the best batting lineup. You could argue it's a bit like, if you strictly ask me about top six, it's a competition between Mumbai Indians and SRH, but I feel that SRH edges out slightly because I mean last season we thought that their batting was so destructive, and now you add Ishan Kishan into the mix. And if you do need someone who can anchor the innings as well, you have Kamindu Mendes. If you want to use him instead of Adam Zampa, maybe depending on the conditions you can. But I mean, already you mentioned the top six. If you want to put Kamindu Mendes, you can use him. Obviously, they have their spinners Adam Zampa and Rahul Chahar. I think they're two really good spinners. Something that they kind of lacked. They still had a weakness in that in terms of not having a proper spinner. They would use either Mayank Markande or Shahbaz Ahmed or Washington Sundar. And then they have the fast bowling. I mean, yeah, I would say that Bhuvaneshwar Kumar going out. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Natarajan, that was two big misses for SRH. But I think they've covered it up well with Mohammad Shami, who's been doing very well for Bengal in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. And they've essentially replaced Natarajan with Harshal Patel, who's this past season's Purple Cap holder. By the way, winning it for the second time. Only Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Dwayne Bravo. I think those are the only three bowlers who have won Purple Cap twice in IPL history. It's Dwayne Bravo, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, and Harshal Patel. So we've essentially replaced T. Natarajan with Harshal Patel. Not an exactly like-to-like replacement, but it still works because considering Harshal Patel is more of a wicket taker than someone who restricts runs. Natarajan is someone who picks up wickets as well in the death overs, but also restricts a lot of runs too as well. But unfortunately, Natarajan also leaked out a lot of runs as well. I mean, that's how it was. The average economy of the entire IPL was like around 9.5 or something like. Considering that for a whole span of a full season, you're seeing every other team leaking out like 9.5 to 10 runs an over is a lot. But I would say that this team looks probably one of the strongest teams on paper. But in terms of the weaknesses, they have to rely too much on Adam Zampa and Rahul Chahar in the spin department. Even though the spin department has become much better than this past season, but they have to depend on Adam Zampa and Rahul Chahar. Probably, if they need, they could bring in Kaminda Mendes, but you have to essentially replace Adam Zampa. I don't know who else you can replace for an overseas bowler. Abhishek Sharma can, bowl in a few overs here and there, but that might be the only weakness. Of course, with Mohammad Shami, even though he's been doing well for Bengal this very recently, but injuries still there. That fitness issue is a big concern. Brandon Cars is another bowler to watch out for, who's been doing very well for England in Test matches as well. So I mean, on paper, they look a very devastating team by just looking at the top six. It's ridiculous. And their bowling attack is so good. Especially, they've added Simarjeet Singh and Jaydev Unadkat, who was also a pretty good bowler. But leaked a lot of runs as well. Still a useful bowler as well. So overall, out of 10, what is the ratings overall out of 10? I would say they're a 9 out of 10. They are a very devastating team. And I'll also say this is also another team who's going to make the playoffs. Because I've said CSK and Delhi Capitals are going to make the playoffs. You can add Sunrisers Hyderabad to this as well. One more thing, I want to give a hot take, one bold take. This next season's finals, based on the teams so far I've seen on paper, I mean, you still have a few more teams to talk about, but on paper, by just looking at it, I feel the finals are going to be CSK versus SRH, the IPL finals of 2025. We might see that. This is a pretty strong take, I would say. CSK,
Big
of course,
take,
I say it
Ajay.
because with a lot of
Big take.
bias. Yeah, I
Big
say
take.
CSK are going to make the finals because of a little bit of a bias, but proven history that, if CSK are in the playoffs, they are going to do very well. Their track record in the playoffs are so good. That's why I feel that with the CSK's bowling attack, they can somehow make it through to the playoffs and get to the finals. But I'm saying that this is the finals. It's going to happen in Eden Garden. So if you know that, so I don't know whether who's going to win the finals. I don't know about that. I'm not going to make any predictions of that. But I'll say the finals is going to be between CSK and SRH, the rematch of 2018. So yeah, nine. I'll repeat that. It's a 9 out of 10 team. The only weakness I would say is that they do not have a backup spinner. I mean, their fast bowling, their batting, they will make the playoffs. And like I said, I predict that CSK versus.
This is like that danger squad that you'll have to fear for in batting. It's like batting is like the best, and bowling, I would say spin is the weak part in their team, but the fast bowling is obviously good. Purple Patel, I'll probably see him being the most expensive among the fast bowlers that is there because he has the tendency to leak a
True.
lot of runs, but somehow he gets a lot of wickets also. I don't know how. Then Mohammad Shami and Pat Cummins, those are like the proper two of the best fast bowlers you would have in this team. Then batting, we have no words to speak. As mentioned by the panel, that's the best batting you have. And I feel this team, I would agree that this team would qualify. Not sure about finals because finals is something we'll have to look when the time comes. When IPL starts, that's when it depends who will perform well, who will not perform well. Because we've seen in the past that on paper teams have looked good. Every like last season there was something else, and this season it is Uno reverse. So I think I can sense a little bit of Uno reverse for this team. I don't know why.
Okay. Interesting one. Pranav, go ahead with your opinion.
My goodness, what a squad is this, man? Seriously. They are not batters. They're literally just having like baseball bats. Whether you're going to bowl it or whether you're going to
Sledgehammers.
pitch it, you're just going to whack. Sledgehammers, literally sledgehammers. As their bat, they're just going to tonk everyone out. I really cannot imagine this team. And now they've actually strengthened by adding another explosive guy at number 3, Ishan Kishan. சொல்லவே வேணாம். Ishan Kishan will thrive in that environment. Literally, it's similar to what Mumbai Indians give, actually. But this one is even better because you're already having two players who can back it off very well. If one falls, the other one still will play a lot. You know, Head will most likely not fall that easily off unless and until you bowl him a Yorker or a bouncer. A Yorker that would has to be an in swinging or an out swinging Yorker.
You have to break your head to get head out.
Yeah, you have to break your head to make sure that you get out head. That's how it is. That's how that guy is. So Ishan Kishan is going to thrive in that. Their all-rounders is also excellent though. They don't have too much. It's not like so vast or like something like what a team like CSK could do. But they're all-rounders. Nitish Kumar Reddy, Kamindu Mendis, terrific. No doubt. Some of their batters can also bowl, like Travis Head can also bowl pretty well. Can give a one, can sneak in an over or two whenever required, and he has done as well in recent times as well. So not two big names, but proven names in cricket. Kamindo Mendes, Nitish Kumar Reddy, done. You're really, really good spot. Spinners, no doubt. If you have players like Adam Zampa and Rahul Chahar, too good, too good. The only unfortunate thing is both of them have like maybe slightly different skill sets as leg spinners, but they actually have like similar style of bowling. They have slightly different skills that makes their trajectory slightly different, or the way they are bowling the ball slightly different, but they are mostly similar in their approach. Both are rather more attacking leg spinners. Maybe Rahul Chahar can go more defensive if needed, but both of them are actually more attacking leg spinners. And that I feel is a bit of a drawback because they could have actually they could have tried to look for a spinner. Maybe like a finger spinner who could have been helpful, That was the only thing missing. It's not that Abhishek Sharma can't bowl spin, or even Kamindu Mendes, if he comes in the squad, he can't bowl. Because Kamindu Mendes is also terrific both ways. You have a right arm off spinner and you have a left arm, slow left arm orthodox as well, equally potent.
Ambidextrous bowler.
Ambidextrous bowler, but I felt that they could have thought about it, but you see, considering their budget, the fact that they managed a squad like this, or literally a Gadapada squad like this, it's simply crazy. It's simply unreal what Sunrisers have done. Really, really, really excellent planning by them. I would say. In fact, I will answer the questions itself. Anyways, captaincy is no doubt it's going to be Pat Cummins. That's a settled thing. They will definitely storm into the playoffs pretty well, right? They would storm into the playoffs. My score for them is a 9 out of 10, no doubt. In fact, this is the best score that I give for all the teams that I've seen here. On paper, this is the best one. The next best is Mumbai and CSK, both tied on 8. Both tied on 8. 8 points. Mumbai and CSK is 8. LSG is like around 7. So 6.7, I would say. Same as Punjab Kings.
Yeah.
But for this one, this is the best one. This is the best one. I could have given them 10 out of 10. But because of how they've done very well in the auctions, but had they gotten a right arm off spinner, even if it's like a person who goes at the base price, like a local spinner or like a foreign spinner who has not done much, but got them at their base price, I think this would have been a perfect squad. They really, really needed a bit more variety of, in their spin attack. But otherwise, this is seriously like the team to beat. Literally the team to beat. It's the best one on paper. No doubts about it.
I think Ajit and Pranav has already answered the question of the ratings of the squad and whether they qualify or not already. I think Manav.
Rating is 9 on 10. There is missing. I think spin is somewhat is their weakness because of the 4 overseas players. I don't know how they will accommodate Adam Zampa because according to me, their overseas players, these three are certain according to me. Travis Head, Hendrik Klassen and Pat Cummins. But the fourth overseas player, they could either go for Malinga Sun or Biden Chase or even Kamindu Mendes. So I'm not sure who will be their fourth overseas player. And due to that, it's 9 on 10. And regarding the qualify playoffs, I think they'll be one of the top 2 teams according to me. There's no doubt. I think them, Delhi, and Chennai are the probable top.
Okay, I'll give my opinion. I think it's unanimous that they have the best batting lineup in this competition compared to all other teams. There's no words to speak about. In Chika words is Pata Bhagyam Padadi Legyam. Hit out, get out. This is how this team is. They'll go help for either they'll go for 270, 280, or they'll get out for 100. That's the level.
280 already over, bro. They'll go 300.
300. That's the kind of firepower this team has got. And in terms of bowling lineup, they've got a very good bowling lineup. They covered up really nicely. They were power play bowling, Shami and Cummins. They have been really good. Harshal Patel for the death bowling, middle overs they've got with Adam Zampa and Rahul Chahar. They had a good job they have covered up that area really well. And if you look at the bowling options also, I think they've got Travis Head. I think already Pranav has already mentioned it. They've got Head, Abhishek Sharma, and NK Reddy, all that stuff. They have covered it up really well. A couple of weaknesses I would like to mention. I think Pranav Reddy's already mentioned it. Proper finger spinner, because if you're going to places like Chepauk or Lucknow, you need a bit of a left arm spinner or a right arm off spinner, a finger spinner, something that can make a bit of a difference. Of course, you've got Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma who could fill in those overs, but I still feel you need a legitimate proper option in that spin department. That's a slight weakness. And another weakness I would say is that they don't have a proper death bowler apart from Harshal Patel, because Mohammad Shami goes for a lot of runs in death bowling. Pat Cummins goes for a lot of runs in death bowling. So Jaydev Unadkat, I think he was past himself. I think he's way past his time. He's just there to be a backup. I don't know whether he can be a backup for. Can he be that partner for Harshal Patel? Both are similar bowlers. I don't know. So they lack a proper depth bowling option apart from Harshal Patel. So there is another weakness I would say, and another weakness I would say is I don't know. See, batting lineup is covered. They have the best batting lineup, but if I would like to just finger in it, I think it's a lack of Indian experienced middle order batter because Abhinav Manohar is an unproven commodity. He's doing well in the Karnataka Premier League. He's doing very well, but can he bring it up to the IPL stage? Something that it's my question mark. But having said that, they have the best batting lineup. We all agree with it. That middle order Indian batter is something. Of course, they've got NK ready to cover up, but another Indian middle order is something that they should they somehow lag, because if you look at there were games that when they have got all out, they have gone all out very cheaply, and they don't have another Indian middle order batter other than NK Reddy. So that is a slight weakness, I would say. But other than that, they have covered up everything. And my rating for this team is an 8.5, simply because of the lack of spin bowling option and the lack of depth bowling option, and apart from Harshal Patel, and lack of an experienced Indian middle order batsman. If they had that experienced middle order batsman, I think I would have given a 9. But simply because the Indian experienced middle order batsman who can steady ship is something that they missed out a bit. And will they qualify for playoffs? I don't need to mention they will qualify for the playoffs. It's pretty simple. And my team so far, I've qualified them was CSK and MI, and my third team would be SRH. So I think I don't need to mention any more about SRH. With that being said, any final words anybody would like to mention? Any final words?
Nothing much. We've covered everything up. I said, I mean, we didn't mention a whole lot on the previous videos. I said CSK will qualify for it and they might make it to the finals. Like I said, LSG, obviously not. Then Mumbai Indians a bit 50-50. They might push a bit here and there because it's too much dependency on their core alone. It's going to be pretty difficult as well with the workload and, that load management and everything. But it will be interesting to see. It's 50-50. But yeah, I said CSK will qualify, and then today we brought up 4 teams. I said 2 of them will qualify, and one of them is Delhi, and the other one is SRH. So these are the 3 teams I have so far for qualifying for the playoffs. We'll get to the next 3 teams, which is RCB, Gujarat Titans, and Rajasthan. We'll get to that, and based on that, we'll see.
Who are your 3 teams who qualified? What are the teams that you?
So my 3 teams were CSK, MI, and SRH so far.
Okay. More or less same as mine. Mana, what's yours? Yeah, Mana, what's yours?
I think I would only say 2 for now. That is Delhi and SRH. Rest of the 2, I think I'll have to see who it is. I'm not sure. I would only say Delhi and SRH for now.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I went straight away finals prediction CSK SRH.
I wouldn't go that far about that because I'll be honest with you guys. IPL is getting tougher and tougher year by year, man. It's not like what it was in the past with one team dominating the entire league. It has become an even playing field with the amount of players. Are coming up. The money that has given a playing field to every team to buy whoever they want, and the level of analysis and data strategies these teams are making, it's getting increasingly harder to for a very monopolized IPL league, in the sense that one team dominating the entire for a period of time. It's very difficult to say, but I don't know what you guys, but it's getting harder and harder. But these are our predictions. We all make predictions, and when the tournament comes, it could be very different. Having said that, we'll end this video. And I would like to thank my panel, Pranav, Ajit, and Manav, for coming in and taking your time and doing this video, making very, very productive and very productive and very thorough analysis of the team. And with that being said, I think the next video we're going to talk about the rest of the teams, which Ajit has already mentioned. RCB, I think RCB,
Gujarat Titans and Rajasthan Royals.
RCB, Gujarat Titans. RCB, Gujarat Titans and Rajasthan Royals. So with that being said, I think next video we will talk about the rest of the teams. With that being said, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. And please make sure like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow us on our social media at Cricket Cricket Stick podcast. And take care. Bye bye. Good night. We'll see you on the next video.